it's like my dream has come true. Data was never in my plan. I did not know anything about data. I was actually wanting a job in a good company where I can learn and grow. And I don't like this is something that I wanted to do from a long time, and all because of Newton School. I mean, thank you so much for helping me out with the job. Hi, I'm Ria, and this is my story. Data was never in my plan. I did not know anything about data. While I was doing my bachelor's in digital transformation engineering, I had to research about businesses and how businesses from offline went to online and how did they survive there. So while doing that, found out that they have to collect data, and then based on the insights from the data that they gather, people are able to go from offline to online, keeping their USB intact. So while discovering that, I was like, I need to learn more about this. I need to get into that. I was going through the different kind of courses and everything. So I found out Newton School there. I went through the curriculum and way they teach, and I raised a query. And then there was this PO's point of contact, Alina. I remember her name very distinctively.
I very well remember the first conversation that I had with Ria. So she was very unsure about, signing up for Newton School or not. She was having that fear of, investing a lot of money into it because it was her hard-earned money. I still remember we had a very, very meaningful conversation wherein I have showed her the entire roadmap, how Newton School will actually work for her.
So she introduced me to the course properly, end to end. What will happen? How many modules are there in the course, and how the process will go. When I received a call from Elena, that was the same day I booked the course and I started my journey. I didn't even tell my parents about it.
I do remember she told me कि उसने घर पे नहीं बताया that she's enrolled in this program.
Initially, it was very overwhelming for me. I was very worried कि how will I cope up with this, because I was already working at that point when I started off this course, right? But Gitika and Shivangi, hats off to them. They had already created a customized roadmap for me. The process went very smoothly.
When we started building up Taiwan for our top learners, I still had faith in her because she had the best projects, she had the best knowledge. So I was like, yaar ye karte hain, Ria, be serious about it. We'll pitch you in, you give the interview. She gave the interview, she cracked it, she did really well.
This was basically my first international trip. Conferences were so interesting and also motivating at the same time. So conference ही नहीं, we went to a Bollywood nights party and खाली हम ही नहीं नाच रहे थे. Each and every person sitting there in the room, all the professors, all the staff people, everybody was dancing with us. So when I went to Taiwan, I was like, why not work here or another abroad country? Why not work there? So I was more into working in abroad. I got the approval for this company, and the interview was next day.
And one day she called me, she's like, okay, I am having this interview and I need your help. And we did a few interviews, the entire Newton team helped her.
Newton School took care of it. They said that we are there for you. We are going to take as many interviews, mock interviews before, and we are going to prep you.
And yeah, there she was after a month. She was sending her offer letter and she was like, "Meko job lag gayi hai and I'm going to Luxembourg."
Ria, who was the first person you broke this news to?
It was my mother. And funnily, she was not at home. She was in the court and I was calling her constantly ki please pick up, please pick up. I have to tell you this ki I've got the job.
It didn't register much. ठीक है, job है, job तो already कर रही है, so fine. It wasn't until I came back, she told me, the magnanimity of the situation. Okay, it's in Luxembourg, it's this job, first job. So taking a right course at right time and doing it with dedication and getting good, mentors. That's something which very few people get. to be frank, I didn't even know when she had joined Newton School, you know. I literally had no idea. She was already working and she funded everything. Her education loan, she's funded that. I haven't had given even a single penny to her. Thanks to all the Newton team. Thank you very much.
Oh, there are many things that I love about Newton School, but primarily since we had the one-on-one mentor sessions, right? So we do not just get the curriculum-based knowledge, which is the data analysis and business analysis part, but we can also get guidance on the domain knowledge. So for example, I started my work in healthcare domain, so I had no to little knowledge about it. So mostly in my sessions I used to ask about what my about my domain and how I can mix it with data analysis and how I can derive the outcome about it. So that was one of the best part. I was very much interested in working on real life projects, and for that I think I got a lot of opportunities here in Newton School while learning. Like for each module you have a project to do. Like for example, I worked on Zomato restaurant analysis and then Chicago crime data analysis. If that kind of analysis could have been done by Chicago, they would have reduced their crimes, because if you know at during what time itne number of crimes will be more, and या फिर in a certain area theft is more, right? So they could have taken measures based on that.
Of course, this is her sheer dedication and hard work that has paid off, and it gives a sense of satisfaction, especially to somebody who has committed a lot, and then when I see the deliveries that has happened accordingly. So of course I'm very, very happy for her.
And yeah, the whole team was so happy. It feels like a personal victory when students like Ria achieve something like this.
Of course, I'm very glad and thankful.